All right. Greetings, fam. It's been a few weeks since my last live stream. I just felt like doing this last minute. I was still down here in my office doing some work, and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like sharing some perspectives about this 888 portal. I received a lot of messages and videos and everything from friends, and I didn't want to burst their bubble about the whole 888 or just the Lionsgate portal in general. I had some discussions with a fellow comrade last year about this stuff, and we were both annoyed because there's a lot of disinformation being spread about this Lionsgate portal. Now, I don't want to downplay the spiritual significance of what's going on right now energetically. There's a lot happening. We have like five planets retrograde. We've had all these karmic endings since with these 2 Capricorn full moons that just passed. I was gonna do a live stream for that, but I've been busy. There's been so much going on. Now, when it comes to the actual alignment of the Star Sirius with the Sun, it's actually not happening right now, to be honest. And we're gonna pull that up in a astrology chart, and we're gonna actually take a look at that. There's a lot of new age disinformation being spread about this alignment, and we're gonna take a look at some articles, and we're gonna take a look at some news broadcast too, and see what this lady says. And yeah, we're gonna break this stuff down quickly because I'm not gonna stay here forever because it's late, and I've been just like as a side note with this Mercury retrograde over the last 2 days, I've been woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like almost like around the same time. This morning when I got woken up, it was exactly 4:44 when I freaking hit my phone to check the time, and I was like, what the heck, man? So I'm hoping tonight I actually get some good sleep. Let me see. I'm just gonna hit stop on this. I was doing another recording on the side on my computer, but I think it's creating some glitches, and that's the last thing I need right now with all this other retrograde action going on. So yeah, whoever finds this video, I hope this helps clear some things up. So, the Lionsgate portal. In ancient Egypt, over 2,000 years ago, when they built the Sphinx, and this is beyond 2,000 years ago. This is, I think, more than 12,000 years ago, going back to the age of Leo, when they built the Sphinx. The Star Sirius has always been a very important part of Egyptian culture. There's a lot of arguments within our current modern scientific society about whether or not we're in a binary star system, but according to our ancient ancestors with the Mayans and the Egyptians, they placed a lot of significance on this star, and I think their belief, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we're kind of like in a binary star system. We have this synergistic connection to the star Sirius. That's very important. And so our ancestors aligned a lot of sacred sites to this particular star. So that's a lot of where the hype is going on. We're coming from. Now, is the star Sirius aligned right now to those ancient sites? Not anymore. The star Sirius is actually in the sign of Cancer now. It's no longer in Leo. So a lot of the disinfo about that needs to be talked about more. And when I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today, what came through for me is that in this period of time, spiritually, we have to be very careful not to fall into any spiritual hype in the New Age community that's going on out there. There's a lot of bullshit going on out there, and there's a lot of people that just want to get clicks and likes on their videos. And the whole, again, we're gonna pull up a chart and we're gonna get deeper into this for a few minutes, but we have to be very careful. The crazy thing about a lot of these channels on YouTube is that we have these characters that I believe do a lot of stuff just to get likes and follows and, you know, whatever, build up their fame or whatever. The dangerous thing about these characters is that they might say all the right things, use all the right language, post all the right videos, but do they really know what they're talking about? And how authentic are they? This is what's also playing into a lot of this Leo energy right now. What we're dealing with as a collective is stepping deeper into our authenticity. And along with that is learning not to be naive about people. Like, we gotta really check the vibes and really understand who we're connecting with. Are these people really walking their talk? Do they really authentically embody this higher consciousness energy, this higher vibrational energy? Or are they just doing this because they just want to get famous and get paid off YouTube? You know, we have to really be careful about this. So, okay, we're gonna go to my dual screen right here. That is my background. That's my live stream. So that's it's live. It's good. All right, we're still good. We're still here. I can see things on the channel still rolling. All right, so here's a random article that I just found on the Lionsgate portal. And so I'm just gonna like quickly read some parts of this, and then we're gonna actually take a look at a chart that I have right here about what's really going on. And then I'm not gonna stay here too long because, like I said, it's late. I just set this all up last minute because I don't know, I just felt like it. I'm like, whoever sees it, sees it. I'm just here having some fun and just sharing my truth. And yeah, whoever finds this, I hope that this serves your journey. So here we go. Everything you need to know about the Lionsgate portal and how to manifest dreams into reality. Yay. All right. When is the Lionsgate portal? The Lionsgate portal technically runs for 2 weeks, opening in late July on the 28th and closing in mid-August on the 12th. However, the pinnacle of the Lionsgate portal is August 888. I don't think so. People will often commonly refer to this date as the Lionsgate portal itself. This date is also known to some as the Galactic New Year. What is the significance of this Lionsgate portal? The Lionsgate portal is the moment where Sun in Leo is in alignment with the star Sirius, Orion's belt, and the Earth. Like I said, we're going to look into the chart and we're going to see what's actually going on with that alignment. Sorry, I lost my place here. So why is this significant? Well, Sirius, the alpha star of the Canis Major constellation, is the brightest star in the sky and is astrologically considered to be a spiritual sun. It was an extremely important body to the ancient Egyptians, who referred to it as the goddess Sopdet. They used the annual rising of the star to note when the Nile River would begin its annual flood, feeding the land and bringing harvest and fertility. An astrology series brings wealth, abundance, fortune, and fame. As such, our alignment with this auspicious body means it is an excellent time for manifestation. The breadth of the Lionsgate portal, period, is considered spiritually significant, but the peak of the Lionsgate portal falls on August 8th for a few reasons. The numerology of 88 is considered extremely powerful, in fact, the most powerful of all combinations. Additionally, this date sees the sun at the halfway point of Leo, a season associated with the boldness and confidence. Of course, the sun is also the ruler of sign Leo, so in this moment, everything truly is in alignment physically and spiritually. Really? We'll see about that. Let's see, what else do I want to read from this article? I'll just continue. Aside from the vernal equinox, the 8-8 of the Lionsgate portal is regarded as one of the most powerful moments for manifestation in the whole calendar. Much like the ancient Egyptians, you could view the Lionsgate portal as a bringer of abundance and new. Consider it a time to break free from any habits that may be preventing us from becoming our best selves. And then whatever, it goes on and on about like how to manifest and crystals to use and so on and so forth. So, let's see where the Star Sirius actually is. So, this is a chart from astro.com. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit and get rid of this garbage. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is where the Star Sirius actually is. It's at 14 degrees of Cancer. The sun is all the way over here at 16 degrees Leo. So, are they really actually in alignment? No, they are not. I think on my phone app, I went back to pull up the exact day when they were conjunct. July the 5th. Yeah, so July the 5th, the sun, I'll pull this up on another day, or I'll put a chart in the chat below for this video. July the 5th, the sun was in Cancer at 14 degrees. Conjunct the Star Sirius. That's when it was actually conjunct. So that's part of my frustration with this Lionsgate portal, is that it's not based in fact or reality. I understand that this was a very sacred time to our ancestors in the ancient past, and it's something to have reverence over, respect, to honor to a certain degree. But the fact that a lot of these people are spreading this information without actually knowing the actual real facts is, I feel, troublesome. You know, like, I did a whole bunch of write-ups on my wall over the last weeks about false light. And there's a big theme in this period of time of our collective releasing false light. You know, worshipping false light within characters that we shouldn't be, really paying any attention to because they're not in alignment with our values. And then it's also connected to information that we're getting in the spiritual community. Is this spiritual information based in higher wisdom? Or is this like some bullshit mumbo jumbo that someone just made up or just channeled for some freaking entity that we can't validate? These are things that we have to really pay attention about. So, what else do I want to talk about here? We have Mercury retrograde. There's so much I can speak to you about that. I'll save that. It's the typical stuff: tech glitches, yada yada yada, miscommunications, blah blah blah. I'm sure you've all watched enough videos or have seen enough memes passing around on social media about Mercury retrograde. We know what that shit's about. For me, the higher importance here with this Lionsgate portal is more connected to our people within our collective that are on this spiritual journey, who've been called by God or by the divine onto this deeper spiritual journey, stepping into our authentic light, our authentic power. And in order to do that, to step into your authentic light and your authentic power, you have to do your shadow work. To really step into your real authenticity and to step into who you really are, you have to undo everything that is not you. False beliefs, false programs, negative perception or toxic perception. It's the dissolving of everything that is not connected to our authentic core self, so that we can come back home to who we actually are as a people, as individuals, as a divine spiritual soul, having an incarnation, a human experience on this planet. And I've wrote a bunch of stuff about this on my wall. And for me, Saturn and Neptune retrograde right now is really about us not being these naive children, because a huge chunk of Leo energy has to deal with children, our inner joy, the playfulness of our inner child. And the other cool side about Leo energy is it's the sovereign divine king or queen that, leads their kingdom, leads their tribe. And they can't go from that joyful, playful, vibrant inner child to the passionate, enthusiastic, inspiring, creative, divine lioness, king or queen, without really stepping into their authenticity and knowing who the hell they really are. And you can't be naive and really become those kinds of great leaders. We have to really see reality for what it is. A leader that leads their nation, whether we're dealing with politics or like kings or queens of like kingdoms and fantasy land movies, or of the ancient past, great leaders have great depth of perception and understanding of human nature, cycles of time. They have very great instincts, intuition, all these kinds of things. So in the collective right now, with Neptune and Saturn retrograde, that's dealing with Pisces energy. And the shadow side of Pisces energy is victimhood, living in denial, living in a deluded reality, not seeing things for how they actually are, wanting to escape reality. Just being delusional and just not seeing things correctly. And at this point in time in the collective, we still have the North Node in Aries. And again, this is also feedback looping into this Leo energy. They're both fire signs. This is about our inner flames really getting ignited, and we're really learning how to bring our passion, to the forefront and really come alive, and learning how to fight for our beliefs. Especially now with Jupiter and Mars about to make this conjunction in Gemini. The opposite sign is Sagittarius. So here, this is what we're looking at. Let me see if I can move my my camera to the other side. I don't know if that's gonna work in the live stream. But yeah, so anyways, we have Mars and Jupiter here in Gemini about to make this conjunction, and the opposite shadow side is Sagittarius. So we're getting a lot of information, a lot of new information coming at us extremely fast. Every single day we're being bombarded with like millions of gigs of data in a way that's unheard of or unseen in our probably in the last at least 12,000 years, because I think there was probably a really advanced civilization before us. But yeah, so we have a lot of this information coming at us in the collective about politics, like, I don't know, man, everything that's going on out there. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. The important thing is that we pay attention to the information that's going to empower us to step into that Leo line energy more, to step it more into our authenticity. With Aries, stepping into our I am presence, really owning who we are and our power. And and then with the Saturn and Neptune retrograde, it's about like really taking off those rose-colored glasses and really seeing reality for what it is. And just as a quick side note tidbit, with this Mars and Jupiter being in Gemini, there's a lot of particular information that's going to come to light about politicians, hidden corruption coming out about certain politicians. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of riots happening in the UK, and a lot of crazy stuff happening in a lot of countries. And then, we got Pluto still here in Aquarius, and this is dealing with collective power. And the opposite sign is Leo. Our collective is currently unearthing truths that are being sent out through information, through social media, which is where Gemini and Aquarius kind of come together, about people that have been in the Leo limelight. People that have been lying to us. And this has to do with our government. This is celebrities. Anyone that is in the limelight that's famous, that have been bullshitting people for a long time. So there's a lot of truth coming out about COVID, about lockdown, the jab, you know, CEOs of corporations. You know, there's a lot of stuff coming out, so we can really see what we've been dealing with, because we can't step into this Leo power, this deeper sense of authenticity, without really facing the shadow side of ourselves and of people in the world. We have to really pay attention to that right now. So yeah, it is an exciting time for people to do meditations to manifest more abundance and whatever they feel called into manifesting. But for me, the most important, most powerful part of this Leo, this Lionsgate portal is really about us coming back home to ourselves, taking our power back, knowing and understanding that we've been lied to in this reality about many things, and to Pluto, Pluto and Aquarius rules like collective groups, organizations, nonprofit stuff, activism stuff. This is about each individual learning to step into their own authenticity so that we can then build community, build tribe, work together so that we can start building a new reality. And this is going to really kick into gear when we have Saturn and Pluto next year coming into Aries. Like, damn. A lot of stuff is going to come out to the collective about a lot of the hardships we've been facing in our society, and people are going to be pissed. And I'm really happy about that, because in order for us to see change in this world, we have to make space for our frustrations, for our sadness, for our anger, and really understand how we've been abused in this current system, and that there's ways for us to get out of this now. We have all the technology and all the possibility in the world to create a reality that's fair and just, peaceful and harmonious for all people on this planet. But we can't create that until we do this work, stepping into our power. Who are we? What are we creating? Leo energy is also about what we create. It rules the 5th house. What are we creating as individuals? How does that work for the collective? Are we being narcissistic and being all about ourselves? Or are we also, wanting to empower ourselves and also think about how we affect the collective, how we affect other people? There's a lot of things to really take into consideration here. And just as a quick tidbit side note, Venus was retrograde in this area last year. And so there was a big conversation happening about love. Venus has been on a very deep journey, and this Venus energy is connected to the divine feminine. She's been on a deep journey, relearning what's really valuable to her in this life. When it comes to how she spends her money, when it comes to love, what does she really value when it comes to her love style, or what she needs in love, how she loves herself. So she made all these squares, with Uranus. Made a square recently, and this is a very big conversation happening, because as a collective, this side of our energy is being refined. We're really being asked by the universe to really take a good look at our value systems, how we love ourselves, how we express ourselves, and is that in alignment to our authenticity, which is what this Leo energy also rules. How's that working out for us? What did our relationships look like last year compared to now? What have we learned? And Mercury's going to also retrograde, and he's going to go over a lot of these degrees that she covered. So Mercury is the mind, and so he's kind of catching up to her. She's like, all right, I got the values down. I learned my lessons. I learned how to value myself better. And then Mercury's the mind. He's like, okay, how do I wrap this around the mind? Like, how do I intellectually grasp this right now? So he's kind of catching up to her and getting the information from her, and her leadership in this, so that the thinking is in alignment, because every aspect of our being needs to be in alignment, our heart and our mind. We have to have that mind-heart coherence that Joe Dispenza talks about and other people talk about. Really cool shit. If you haven't seen Joe Dispenza's work, I highly recommend you take a look at it, because it's freaking amazing. But yeah, anyway, so this is a really big conversation, between Venus and Uranus, like really getting clear on our value systems, and it's really radical shifts. It's radical shifts of energy that we're seeing, even when it comes to financial markets in the mundane world. Not just our personal world, but even in the mundane world. A lot of conversations about crypto and the issues with crypto. Is this really a valuable system for our collective, or is it something that the elites are trying to push for a different reason? Is there really something else going on here? And that's another conversation I want to have with a bunch of people in the future as I get more of the podcast stuff going. Side note, I'm building a studio right now, so I'm investing in technology and all kinds of stuff to run the podcast, camera switcher, all kinds of crazy cool shit. But anyways, in the future, we're going to be doing episodes on this because this is a pretty big conversation, and it's my personal belief that with Venus square Uranus and Uranus just being in general in Taurus since 2018, it's speaking a lot to this conversation about cryptocurrency, but even more deeply on a more deeper spiritual level. This is about the collective realizing what's really actually of value. And I've been freaking preaching this like crazy on my Twitter account, Facebook account, because it really pisses me off that a lot of people are just missing. I feel missing this story, this message that's coming from the divine, which has to do with this Uranus energy. We're like revolutionizing our value systems as a collective. We're really being invited by the universe to take a second look at how we've been investing ourselves when it comes to love, when it comes to money, when it comes to as a collective what we're placing value on. And it really does play into a lot of this Leo energy, because we were looking at a lot of these celebrities and political leaders as people that hold the same values. They've been talking a lot of stuff, but when we really look at what they've been talking about, does it really check out? Like what they talk about, are they really walking it? Like really, in over 200 years of American and Canadian history, when have the citizens of these countries actually got justice in the ways they deserve with this current system? So Pluto and Aquarius right here, Uranus is the ruler of freaking Aquarius, and this is where Pluto is right now. Our collective is going to really start seeing reality differently. Does this actual system hold the same values that we have? Or are they just talking shit out of their ass? Because I think a lot of these politicians are full of shit, like straight up. And there's people are going to say that, oh, you're talking conspiracy theories now and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, not really. You just got to follow the money. What we've seen with a lot of these politicians, they're in the hands of the WEF and a lot of banking institutions. Why is that happening? And is that kosher for our collective? They're having somebody whisper in their ear on, oh, can you pass this policy? Because we need X, Y, Z. If you do this, we'll give you whatever. This is the kind of bullshit that happens. There's all these underhanded back-end deals that are going on that the collective doesn't really get to see because it's shrouded in mystery. And then that's getting into more of the Scorpio side of our collective reality. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is going to be unearthed with this Pluto and Aquarius energy about the Leo people in the limelight that are famous that have been bullshitting us. So again, like I said before, this Leo energy for me is really important because we're all learning how to become leaders in ourselves, and we're learning to stop trusting these leaders in the same way we've been trusting them. It's a cycle of insanity. How many times have we caught these politicians, or even famous people who have, been super famous, like celebrities, singers. How many times have we caught these characters doing unsavory things that go against our collective values? We want to drop, man, I don't even know how many, I can't name all the names off the top of my head, but one big story recently is P. Diddy. Look at all the stuff that came around that Joker. There's so much stuff. How are we going to create the reality that we want as a collective where we have true freedom and sovereignty if we keep investing our energies into these fake people who promote false light? These characters, these famous singers and actors and politicians, these are people of false light. These are people that are not authentic. They're bullshitters, they're liars, they're deceivers, they're manipulators, they're narcissists. And this energy also kind of connects to narcissism. This has been something that's been debated in the astrology world does the sign of Leo really represent narcissism? And I've really taken a deep look at that and really reflected on that when I meet people who have Leo energy compared to other characters. And I do see a correlation. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not saying that all people with Leo energy have this dark side, but it is something they have to consciously balance out through doing shadow work. The dark side of Leo energy is when they're not getting the attention and the praise that they would like, they start to become unhappy campers. And it's kind of like the sun turning into a black hole where these people will just like suck up your energy. So yeah, I've seen that. And I'm sure if a lot of you reflect on that, I think when it comes to Leo people who fall into the toxic side of Leo energy, I think you'll probably start to see those connections. But anyways, there's a lot going on. I think a lot of us are done with this bullshit reality and we're ready to really start building something new. But before we get there, the universe is really trying to help us get clear right now. This is where the big conversation's at with this Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. You know, there's a lot of more technical astrology things I can get into, but I don't want to bore people with that. I just want to focus on the bigger message, the bigger story that's taking place. And the bigger story is we're really learning how to become the Leo leaders by tapping into our deeper intuition. Really learning how our intuition works, really learning how spirit and the divine connects to us, how it sends us messages. We're learning how to become more spiritually disciplined. We're learning how to not be delusional anymore and to see things for how it actually is. And once we're done clearing these karmic lessons with Saturn and Neptune being together in Pisces, when they both ingress into Aries, man, I'm warning you guys, like, reality is gonna get wild. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm not trying to spread fear porn, but it's gonna be a very interesting time. You know, we're in a defining decade here, and if we do it right, if we do the spiritual work to really clear these karmic lessons, so we can step into our Leo authenticity and power and light to co-create with Pluto and Aquarius here a new reality. You know, a new collective reality that serves our freedom, that's higher vibrational, which is what Aquarius also rules, through using healthy technologies, which is another thing we're going to be doing. We can make a Star Trek reality, straight up. This is possible. It's very possible. We can literally do this, but not if we stay in the Leo lower vibrational energy, being children who are Neptune, Saturn, and Pisces naive and living in a delusional reality. Or, like the other term I used, living in hope dope. Hope dope's really addictive. You know, like a lot of people use, Pisces also rules the media industry. A lot of people also use media as a distraction to cope with reality. And I get it. I totally get it. This reality's hard. It's heavy for a lot of advanced souls down here. This is not a vibration that we want to be living in every day. It's crazy. So yeah, and even just normal matrix people that are not fully consciously aware of what's going on, they're getting beaten up, living in the matrix, chasing units to pay their bills. They come home, they just want to be left in peace. They just want to feel some kind of positivity or some kind of like a relief. So this Pisces energy provides them with some kind of relief, but it's a relief that just kind of sinks them deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole, which is like the shadow side of Neptune energy. Neptune is the traditional ruler of Pisces, you know, and the shadow side of Pisces, she will dissolve your ass. And yeah, I said she. I always turn to Neptune being feminine, and I think it just comes to me being a millennial chick that watched Sailor Moon when I was a kid. And, you know, Neptune was a feminine or female character. So anyways, the shadow side of Neptune is when we're continuing to live in our self-deluded reality and not seeing the truth or refusing to see the truth, but denying the truth. You slowly dissolve yourself away. And it could be dissolving yourself in terms of mental health, which is again ruled by Pisces and Neptune energy, 12th house energy. It could be your wealth, your health. Either way, shit's gonna get dissolved. Like you're just gonna like not be here in a healthy way, you know. And this also rules the area of mental health. And since she's been here over the last over 10 years, we've seen a massive uptick in mental health issues. while she's been transiting through Pisces, raising awareness about a lot of issues about depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, all different kinds of stuff has come out since she's been transiting through Pisces. So again, I talked about this in my live stream like last October because I don't know, I felt called to talk about it then. I'm gonna bring it up now. I think I brought it up in the last live stream. Whoever the hell sees this when they see it, and just so just so you know, I'm gonna repeat some stuff here and there because it's important. As soon as Neptune entered into Pisces, this was the beginning of a new spiritual renaissance for this planet. This is why a whole bunch of people were seeing all these repeating numbers, 1111, and people were getting into yoga, meditation, mushrooms, psychedelics, meditation, kundalini energy, going into ancient esoteric information. There was a massive uptick with Neptune coming into Pisces. Massive. Like, I don't know if some of you can recall, but if you go back to around 2010, 2011, and you're a person that got called onto the spiritual journey, you will remember those years, because those years were intense and also very magical. I experienced some of the most magical spiritual experiences of my life when Neptune was in Pisces. Really amazing shit. Like, I'll talk about that on other live streams in the future. But anyway, so Neptune coming through Pisces over the last 10 years has been extremely important for our collective. The universe has been trying to train us spiritually for this age when Neptune comes into Aries, because we're gonna need to have our intuitive faculties really fine-tuned to navigate the world that we're stepping into over the next 2-3 years. Actually more, I would probably say the next 10 years. We're gonna really need our intuition on point. So this Saturn Neptune retrograde right now is really helping us to do that. We're dissolving karma. We're fixing our boundaries. Again, like I said earlier, we're taking off those rose-colored glasses so we can see a reality for how it actually is. Because we can't, like I just said a few minutes ago, we can't create this ideal reality that we want if we're not even living in reality correctly. And we're not really seeing what's actually happening. We have to face the darkness of this reality, face the shadow side of this reality. And the great gift that we get, like if we go up here to Scorpio energy, we're going to talk more about this in other live streams, but the great gift about doing shadow work and being fearless and having this Leo courage to go into the darkness is you discover and unearth powers that you never thought were possible. Powers inside of yourself. And that's the most craziest gangster, kick-ass, badass thing that can happen to anyone. And so facing the delusions that we've been living in, yeah, it can look scary. Really, really looking at reality and seeing like, holy shit, we actually can't trust our governments. Like, legit, we cannot. We can't trust the media. We can't sometimes trust our food. We can't sometimes trust our water. Now, even when it comes to our air, they're messing with the air too. So for people who haven't learned how to take their Leo light, their authenticity, into the Scorpio darkness, the depths, to really understand what's going on, if they haven't learned how to do that and not be crushed and drowned with the heavy Scorpio waters, these deep, mysterious waters, they're gonna fucking drown. In these next years, they're gonna lose their fucking shit. Like, legit, they're gonna lose it. It's gonna be a very challenging time for them. And again, learning to take your Leo light and bring it into this shadowy realm is not the easiest thing to do. It takes people with great courage, great tenacity, great resilience to really do this. And this is why I'm here. I'm here to help people step deeper into that power, to really understand who they really are, to step into their divine sovereignty, which is again what Saturn and Neptune are trying to do. And also this transit North Node in Aries is stepping into that divine sovereignty, really stepping into your power and your real Leo authentic light. So we can co-create Pluto and Aquarius a better reality. So these days ahead, like I said, with Neptune going through Pisces the last 10 years, we're going to need our intuition and greater psychic faculties to really see through the fog, see through the deception, the lies, the gaslighting of this reality. And I'm going to throw back to this Leo energy. Do I believe it's connected to narcissism? Yes, I do, because I've just seen the patterns in reality. So again, this area rules famous people. We need to use our Neptune Pisces higher divine intuitive power to see through the bullshit of these characters here and the bullshit they've been telling everyone. The people who are these fast talkers, these charmers, these narcissistic characters. We need to see beyond their game and see what the real true intention is behind their actions. This is what our collective is learning right now. And this is also a very deep thing, a very deep journey being embodied by empaths right now. Empaths have been on a very, sometimes painful journey learning how to live in this expanded state of love and compassion, but with healthy boundaries and learning to see through people's lies, not being Pisces Neptune naive anymore. And this is a collective thing that's also going on because we are also in the age of Pisces. Hence the Pisces Connection astrology show. We're also in the age of Pisces. We are ending these karmic lessons right now, these karmic cycles right now. We're working our way out of the fog of Neptune. We've been in Neptune's fog for a long time. And again, when we're talking about the planets in astrology, we're not demonizing any planet. I don't believe in Vedic astrologers and other people saying, oh, Mars is a malefic and Saturn is da-da-da-da. I don't see it like that. Every single planet in the astrology world has great wisdom to offer us. Can there be a shadow side? Yes, there can, because this reality is based on duality and polarity. But right now, we're focusing on the lessons that they're trying to show us, the lessons they're trying to teach us to help us refine ourselves on this hero's journey that we're on as a collective, which is learning how to embody our godhood, stepping into our divine sovereignty as souls, and not being naive anymore, not being led astray like sheep, like lamb. You know, so this is what the Neptune Pisces energy is all about right now. We're ending this Pisces age. We're not going to be sheeps that are being led through deception anymore. We're learning how to see through the fog and see through the lies and step into our power here with the Northern Aries, stepping into our authentic light. This is like the most exciting thing for me right now with all the energies that are going on. And it's not just about the 888 Lionsgate portal. This Leo season, this Cancer Leo season has definitely been very powerful, very, very powerful. But the greater overarching story is the story that I've been connecting with right now, that I've been talking to you all about. You know, it's really learning about taking your light into the darkness, facing the shadow side of this reality. Pluto rules Scorpio. I don't care about people who say that Mars is the ruler. No, sorry. Pluto rules Scorpio. Pluto in Aquarius is really showing us that we have power as a collective, as a group. When we work together and we unify, we can create a whole new paradigm on this earth. But like I said, to do that, you gotta know how to embody your own light. You have to know how to be in your own frequency. You have to know how to like really speak your truth, how to embody your own authenticity. So these are very intense times, but I'm excited because like so many other people on this planet who came here to be of service to the collective, we're done with this shit. We know what this world has been since we were children. You know, we came into this world understanding that this world was filled with a lot of lies and bullshit. And a lot of us had to go through life in a very lonely way, where we were like the weirdos, the black sheep in our families, the black sheep in our communities. We held different perspectives, different opinions about how we saw the world. And a lot of us were met with a lot of persecution because of that. And that's like a very deep wound that's also healing in the collective right now, is this persecution wound. It's like this wound we've been dealing with since before the time when the witches got burned, you know, where we've been persecuted for being different. And now a lot of so-called star seeds and these souls that are on this planet that got called into doing greater collective work, we're learning how to release this persecution wound, this inner pain of not being accepted by mainstream society. And we're learning to own our weirdness. So the shadow side of Leo again is Aquarius. This is usually the side of the part of the zodiac that deals with like weird people. It's ruled by Uranus. You know, we're dealing with weird, freaky characters that don't fit into any mold. You know, Uranus energy is very rebellious and very, I don't know what other words to say, but very quirky. You know, they have their own unique vibration, their own unique way of expressing. They don't really like to be confined by rules. You know, they like to just be who they are. So in order for us to really step into our light, we have to also own our weirdness. We have to own who we really are. You know, all the good, the bad, the ugly, you know? Like, whatever you do that might seem freaky to mainstream society, fuck it. Like, start doing it. Start being it. You want your hair purple? Whatever, man. Go dye your hair purple. You want to wear tie-dye jeans all the time? Go wear tie-dye jeans all the time. It's like, this is the energy that we're in right now as a collective. Stepping into our authentic light, owning your weirdness, being proud of it, not allowing society to tell you how to be, what to think, what to do. You know, you're really owning who you are. And as we all do this shadow work as a collective, we're gonna have the ability and the opportunity to create the craziest, most beautiful, abundant, peaceful, harmonious world we've ever seen in probably the last like 13,000 years. This is what's opening up for our collective. These are the timelines that are opening up right now. And yeah, I don't know if we're gonna speak to Chiron right now in this live stream, but yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. But yeah, so all I could hope for everyone is that, especially for the people that are on this like deeper spiritual journey, and for the people that really feel called to do this work right now, is to like quiet the outside world. There's a lot of distractions out there, and really dig into doing this shadow work. How do you own your light? How do you own your power? How do you want to work with people? What delusions do you have that you need to release? What are the karmic patterns that are associated with this Pisces energy that you've been struggling with? Are you being spiritually disciplined? Do you need to become more spiritually disciplined? What people do you need to release out of your life? You know, we're still dealing with this like North Node, South Node, North Node and Aries, South Node, Libra energy. We're still dealing with that, learning how to own our I am presence and releasing relationships that are not in harmony with that are not conducive to that are not in alignment with that. So everything, the overarching conversation in astrology right now, the story that is being told, the journey that we're being led on as being the heroes of our own story, is all about us learning to own our light and our authenticity. And when enough people step into that, the frequency and vibration of the earth is gonna like skyrocket. It's like, man, this energy right here playing out in the charts, plus what we're seeing with the solar storms, guys, yo, brethren, this is some next level things. Like, we're literally being boiled from the inside out with these solar energies, shaking up and releasing all the density in our auras, all this heavy shit that we've been holding from this lifetime, maybe previous lifetimes, plus our ancestors, our bloodlines. You know, a lot of this stuff is being boiled to the surface right now for us to clear. And this is why, like I said in the last live stream, when I showed those video clips of Sadhguru, he said, and a lot of other spiritual leaders like him and other elders have told us this, during the time of increased solar activity, which we're seeing right now over the past 2 weeks, multiple solar flares, multiple CMEs, uptick in earthquake activity, you also see changes to the economy, usually in a very abrupt way, in a way that is a little bit destructive. And then you see changes to the collective, where people are getting more crazy, more violent, more off kilter. So this is why the universe right now in divine, with divine planning, has these 2 planets right here in Pisces, so that we learn to come back home to our spiritual sense of self. Really cultivate this part of our lives, this inner world. Make this inner world so strong that you can go into any storm and be able to weather it. Same thing with this Leo energy, this Lionsgate energy. Same thing here. You're learning how to cultivate your own light, your own power, your own authentic voice, so that you can go into any darkness, any hidden, shadowy reality with this Scorpio energy, that which is hidden, and bring your light into the dark and unearth all of this hidden shit and bring it to the forefront so people can deal with it, so we can face it together and then be like, okay, guys, we got some bullshit here to deal with. How are we going to deal with this? How are we going to, Pluto and Aquarius, work together with our collective power to deal with these shadowy truths that are coming up? How are we going to deal with this? These are going to be the more important conversations that are going to be happening in the world over the next few years, because a lot of shit's going to come out and people are going to be like, fuck, like, where do we go from here? What are we going to do? And luckily we have a lot of amazing groups and characters on this planet who are already working on sustainable projects, which a lot of you know I'm into, Dome Eco Village type stuff, permaculture gardening, construction, different construction methodologies coming out. Oh Lord, new innovations in technology, healing medicine. There's people who are doing the work, people that God sent to the collective to bring this intelligence, this information, this light to our world in this time to solve these problems. We have everything here that we need as wizards, as magicians, to create a crazy reality, man. Like damn, we got everything, but we need to pull away from the false light, this false matrix that keeps us subdued and lulled to sleep, manipulated into their media lamestream, Hollywood bullshit films and all of their Disneyland distractions. We gotta like detox, man, off the dope, the media dope they've been doping us up with since we were born into this world. We gotta let go of all this bullshit, all these distractions, so we can start Leo 5th house creating new things. And then maybe in the future, our collective is going to start creating conscious media that really feeds our evolution, media that's more authentic to our spiritual journey, media that actually serves us, not stuff that's like trying to like slowly gaslight us. Like, for example, with this Pisces Neptune media world bullshit, a lot of the movies that we've been seeing, like Fantastic Four or Avengers, all these things, kind of cool movies. I'm not going to say it's all bad, but it's reinforcing this false program that's connected to false light that keeps us seeking outside of ourselves for power and to be rescued, to be saved. This is another issue with the Pisces savior complex that our collective is also clearing at this time, releasing all of that. Releasing this false Christian religious program that some savior's gonna come down and save your ass. I'm sorry to tell you guys this. It's not going to happen like that. And I mean that with the utmost respect for people who practice Christianity. I'm sorry. It's not gonna go down like that. It's not. And then for the New Agey community out there who believes that some ETs are gonna come down and they're gonna save us from the bullshit going on here, I'm sorry to tell you guys, that's not happening either. It's not. This whole journey we're on right now, why a lot of humans decided to incarnate in this period of time, is for people to learn how to cultivate their own power and their own light. How would we evolve as a civilization, as a humans, as a species, if every single time we dig ourselves a hole, some entity has to come and dig our ass out? How are we going to evolve like that? You're not going to become the most conscious, most evolved entity or species if you're playing the game of reality like that. It's just not going to go down like that. I've had my own spiritual experiences and perspectives, based on all these things. I've had contact in strange ways in my life, and I was told a lot of interesting messages. We're refined as a collective. There's a lot of events being embedded into our timeline so we can fast track our evolutionary growth, because the bullshit that's going on our planet, we're actually affecting other places in the universe right now. The toxicity of our world is causing harm to other places in the universe and in other dimensions. So again, that's going to be something woo-woo to some people, and they won't really be into that. But whether we're talking about external dimensions and realities, or we're talking about ecosystems, we're having a negative effect on this planet. And I'm gonna close this with this going back to Uranus. We need to understand that if we stay in these delusional realities, these delusional ideologies, this hope dope, the victim savior complex, the rose-colored glasses, like this delusional escapism type energy, like, we're not gonna fully see the value of what is actually here for us. Heaven on earth was always a possibility. It's always been here for us, but we need to get into alignment with it. We have to see the value of our earth. Uranus is in Taurus. It's an earth sign. All the things that are valuable to us, like actually a value, comes from the earth. And this is the biggest revolution that needs to happen right now, is realizing that all this Neptune, hope, dope, delusional bullshit they've been selling you on what is actually valuable, whether it's makeup, a Tesla car, or McDonald's, whatever bullshit they've been trying to sell you on TV commercials of what's valuable, is all lies. It's all made to make corporations and CEOs and other people extremely rich at your expense. They're sucking up your collective wealth and funneling that wealth into their own shit that you don't get to touch, that you don't get to play with. You don't get all the fancy toys and fancy cars and nice houses and shit. Your money is being sucked up into their pockets. It's being siphoned into their pockets. And again, Taurus also rules the second house, which rules like our money. So this Uranus energy right here is the most revolutionary thing that we got to be looking at. Like, the value of our souls, the value of the earth, the sanctity, the balance of our ecosystems, realizing our impact on the planet, realizing how that impacts like future generations. The opposite side is Scorpio. The 8th house is dealing with investing. It's using our Taurus second house money and 8th house, investments. How are we investing our money? And I covered this in some write-ups that I did like weeks ago. How are we investing our money as a collective? Are we seeing the return on investment from where we're putting our freaking money? Again, if you want to stand in your authenticity and your power, you also need to change how you invest your energy. You can't be in your power if you're investing your energy in the wrong places. In order to invest in your authentic power, you need to change where you're investing your energy, attention, and money. And so far, our collective, we invest a lot of money into this Neptune ruled area of life, which is media, film. How much money does our collective spend every year going to the movie theater, paying for Netflix, paying for all these things? It's hundreds of billions of dollars that these companies are siphoning up into their bank accounts. If we just took a fraction, of that money to solve our problems, the world would be a different place right now. So again, I'm probably like being too preachy, but whatever, get used to it, because this is Kate. If you don't like it, change the channel, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, stop complaining, man. Stop complaining. Our world has been manipulated. This is true, by psychopaths, but we allow it to continue. So I'm not like this whole live stream, whoever the hell sees it, you guys should know me by now, man. I'm not about fluff. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and be all rainbows and unicorns. I'm about real spirituality, which is really keeping it real. And if you want to keep it real, you got to deal with yourself. How are you giving away your power in life, into your Libra relationships with the South Node being here? Even to your relationship with your governments. How are you giving your power away? You have to start thinking about this, because I'm sorry, man. I don't give a shit what's going on with Kamala Harris and Trump. It's not going to change a damn thing. Maybe one is a little bit less toxic than the other. We can argue that until the cows come home, but at the end of the day, the bankers own everything. Your reality is not going to experience too much drastic change in the ways you need with this election, or the election after that, or the election after that. If you really want to see radical change, you got to change this Uranus area here of where you have to have this like radical change of where you're investing your energy, your time, and your resources. And lockdown was a really great opportunity for that in 2020. We were forced to slow down. We were forced to go into our homes, stay in our homes, and people wigged out. They lost their shit. Oh, we can't go to the bar. We can't go to the movie theater. We can't go to the restaurant. They were like freaking out. Meanwhile, the rest of us during a lockdown, we were like, yo, I don't care if I can't go to the movie theater. I'll freaking entertain myself at home. I'll do what I gotta do. I don't care if I can't go to the bar. I'd rather not drink alcohol anyway, because it's freaking toxic for your health. I'll learn on YouTube how to make my own kombucha and freaking invest in my health. A lot of people chose a different way to flow through the COVID experience, which is not feeding into the fear porn. They instead learned how to invest better in their own health. A lot of people graduated really well with the lessons, the cosmic divine lessons that the divine sent to us in that time. They graduated like with flying colors. They saw through the bullshit. They knew that the narrative that they were selling with this Neptune bullshit here, because I believe Mercury went retrograde in Pisces in 2020, which was like, damn, they were laying it on thick during that period of time with the media, the manipulation that was going on. They laid it on thick, man. The fear porn they were selling back then, if we can like pull up clips on that, people will be like, damn, wow, no wonder why people were lining up to get jabbed up. They were all fearing death. And again, I'm going longer than I should have, because I'm in a flow, whatever. But again, with this Scorpio energy, this is where you deal with your own spiritual death. You're dealing with the hidden mysteries of life. You're dealing with unearthing your own intuitive psychic power. For people who have done that work, they didn't fear their death during COVID because they had their Pisces energy in check. They had intuition. They had their own psychic power. They could feel through the bullshit. Because sometimes when you can't see through it, you got to feel your way through it. And you're not going to feel your way through it unless you have developed your intuition. And you've gone really deep into that process. And I don't even know where the fuck that shit came from. I think I'm just channeling some shit right now. But like, yeah, if you can't see it, if you can't see through it, if you can't see through this Neptune fog, you got to feel your way through it. And that kind of goes to, again, back to Leo, the ruler of the fifth house, the ruler of the heart chakra, the heart. Your hearts have to be expanded, not contracted, when you go into fear and lower vibrational thoughts and feelings. Your heart chakra, your heart area, it contracts. So it has less of an ability to hold higher frequency energy and vibration. If you want to take your power back, you have to expand beyond those fears, expand beyond the pain, expand beyond like the bullshit of this life, and really say, no, I don't give a damn what's happening in the world. I'm going to keep my heart open. I'm going to still find ways to enjoy this reality and enjoy life. I'm going to still find ways to tap into my inner child and be playful. I'm not going to let the darkness of this world crush my soul or crush my spirit. This is another important thing about this Leo Lionsgate energy right now, is really learning, like I said earlier, tapping into this Leo energy, tapping into your joy, your light, and bringing that into the darkness and lighting that shit up. This is where it's at right now, fam. This is where it's at. The people who really learn these karmic lessons, that learn these spiritual lessons right now, again, Neptune and Saturn retrograde, whoever clears these lessons, when we get into next spring, man, whew, These people are going to kick ass. These are going to be the leaders of the next age of humanity on this planet. These people are going to make history. It's going to be incredible. I'm excited for these energies. A lot of people are scared because like, oh man, they're going to start World War III and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Our timelines are fluctuating. Every choice that we make as a collective from second to second oscillates and fluctuates our field of consciousness, manifesting and pulling in different timeline possibilities, potentialities. So I'm holding a vision in my mind for the future where we see a collective of humans that no longer can even afford to stay in fear anymore because they're tired. Their ass is getting kicked by the matrix system. They're tired. They don't want to play this game anymore. They're done. And they're like, you know what? I trust in God. I trust in the divine. I'm going to trust in my power and my light and how I'm being spiritually guided with Pisces energy here. And I'm going to do what I feel is right with my values. Because hopefully they've done their work to realize what's really of value in this life. Which is what people started to see during COVID. You know? Where they were feeling not having food. Yeah, there's all that funny shit about toilet paper and all that. Toilet paper looting. That was some pretty funny shit. But, you know, a lot of people learn, like, oh my God, what's really of value here? It's community. It's my relationships. With Libra energy here. It's food. You know, these are the actual valuable things about our reality. It's not buying a freaking Gucci bag or buying like a fancy ass Ferrari. And I'm not gonna like downplay anyone who's done that. Whatever, go do your thing, man. I don't give a damn. But I'm just saying, the fact that they keep pushing this narrative that success looks like you having a Gucci bag and driving a Ferrari car, it's total bullshit. I know lots of rich millionaires in my life. I've talked to many of them. I've had relationships with a lot of them. A lot of these folks are miserable. It's not all it's painted to be with this Neptune energy. It's not. I know enough wealthy people that are miserable. And yeah, maybe some are still also okay in life and they're doing okay. They're still happy. But I still feel like from my experience and the experiences of people much older than me and more experienced with this life, that money doesn't equal more joy and more happiness. Can it solve a lot of our problems in this matrix world? Hell yeah, because this place is based on a very oppressive financial monetary system. But in reality, what really brings you joy? It's having good, healthy food, being able to play and be joyful with this Leo energy, having healthy relationships, being able to express yourself and your own identity, you know, being able to be creative again, going back to Leo energy, feeling a deep sense of home, Cancer energy, being able to learn and grow, being able to Sagittarius travel and see the world, you know, Capricorn have a solid foundation, Aquarius being able to innovate, you know, almost every positive expression of the zodiac is being oppressed right now. We haven't even seen a world where these areas of the zodiac can actually be expressed in a very positive way. We see little like shards of it happening here and there, but not on a higher like spectrum, you know? And I feel like this is what we got to be moving into right now as a collective, is letting every area of the zodiac manifest in our lives in the most positive way possible. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to wrap it up there, because it's 11:30 and a girl's got to sleep. But yeah, I just felt called to come on here and I'll say channel intuitively these messages and hopefully bring a different message to people with this Lionsgate portal that they may not hear from other people. So let's see, we're going to go back to... we're gonna go back here. All right, so that was my spiel on the Lionsgate portal. Quick summary: The Star Sirius is at 14 degrees Cancer. It is not in Leo. It was, again, it was at 14 degrees. The sun was in alignment with the Star Sirius at 14 degrees on July the 5th. So, yeah. Don't drink all the Kool-Aid you're being served with in the financial. That's probably slipping to my mind for a reason. In the spiritual world. Like I was showing with the charts with all this Pisces energy, we're learning how to channel the intuitive intelligence of our higher selves. And when we start to really tap into the power of our intuition and our higher selves, this intuitive information goes beyond this paradigm of reality. And when you start stepping into that power, it helps you to pierce and see through the bullshit out there that people are talking but ain't walking. You know what I'm saying? We can't be sheep anymore with that Pisces energy. As we bring this Piscean age to a close, it's time for us to become the lions. To really step into our divine sovereignty, our light, and our power, and bring that light into the darkness, and light that shit up, and not have fear. The lion is fearless. The lion is righteous. The lion has a big heart, holding a lot of high vibrational energy. The lion wants to create. So this is the energy that we're really needing to embody as a collective. What do we want to create? Who are we? What does it mean to be in our authentic light, to speak our truth, and to do it fearlessly? What does that look like for us? What does it mean? So I invite you all, whoever watched this video, if you guys got to the end of this, I invite all of you to really do that shadow work. Because I'm a huge supporter of shadow work. I do this with my clients. This is what I'm really into. Because we can't tap into that light without first accepting the shadow side of the reality that we're in together as a collective and diving into the shadow side of ourselves. Without doing that, you're not living in authenticity. You're living a lie. You're not living who you were destined to be. There's a lot of people on this planet that have been living in a fake, false sense of self and having a false identity, this false ego expression. And it's very interesting for me to see that in reality, a lot of people that we see over time that kind of sit in this like really egoic, arrogant energy, they don't last very long. Shit happens. The universe will dissolve their ass. And the interesting thing I've been seeing, especially since Saturn and Neptune went retrograde at the end of June, is a lot of celebrities, a lot of politicians, a lot of people in famous sectors of life, whether it's spiritual influencers, actors, singers. A lot of these people ain't gonna be around for that much longer, or they've already been taken out, because the universe ain't having it no more. The vibration of Earth is increasing. The space that we were holding for inauthenticity and false light is closing, and soon it's gonna disappear. There's not gonna be room left for people who are living in that dense, heavy, fake ass, phony, manipulative energy. That's not what we're about as a human species. We're children of the creator. We're children of the divine, man. We were meant to create incredible things here. We were not meant to freaking worship celebrities and rappers and whoever. These people are not greater than us. We have to stop externalizing our light and our power and our attention and investing Uranus Taurus into these characters. They're not better than you. They're human just like you. It's time for you to step into your own authentic light and your own authentic power and speak your truth. Get creative. Really figure out what brings you joy again in this life. Your life wasn't here to just work 9 to 5 and collect digits, man, to pay your bills. You were brought to planet Earth to do great things. You have great skills. It's time for you to become that person. and let go of all this false matrix shit that tells you when you gotta get married and what kind of job you gotta get and how much money you gotta make and where you gotta get your house. And that's no. That chapter's coming to a close. We're ending that shit. That bullshit is not conducive or in alignment to our highest good. There's so much more for us out there. And the more of us release this false belief that, oh, I was just born to planet Earth and this was just the government, and this is just the way shit is, so I guess I just gotta put up with it. No, you don't. You don't have to put up with it. And I know it looks like impossible that we're up against these big governments with big, massive toys of destruction and they can just wipe us all out. Yo, man. They saw what happened over 3,000 years ago. Wait, 3,000? Over 2,000 years ago. When they try to attack the freaking mob. The whole term mob rule comes from Rome. When these people tried to pull some fuckery on the collective, they were like, oh, hell no. You know, they rose up, they rioted, they burned shit down. So the elites, these psychopaths learned, like, man, we can't attack the collective head on, or we're gonna get into trouble. We gotta use these malicious, malevolent, underhanded tactics to undermine their power and their light, and their ability to navigate this reality. We gotta gaslight them into giving their power away. And they've done that systematically, successfully, up until now. There's a collective within our group that's rising up, and we ain't playing that shit no more. We see through it. I'm excited for this. Trust me, there's moments even in this day where I was like, fuck, man. Oh, I'm so tired of this reality. This is so boring. I'm so tired of all the bullshit going on. Like, I have my moments, man. My friends know this. I have my moments, you know, where I'm like so fed up with this reality. But there's so much potential out there, man. There's so much beautiful potential out there. We could be so much more than what we are right now. And we have to hold on to that potentiality and that possibility and stop letting them rip it out of our hands. We have to grab a hold of it and be like, no, this is mine. My power, my light. I'm not letting you steal it anymore. And I'm not giving you all my freaking money to your damn Disneyland. I'm not gonna freaking put all my money into your bars, your restaurants, your freaking theaters, you know, your lamestream media and all your bullshit. No, this is my value, and I'm tired of giving my value away to your bullshit system that doesn't serve me or doesn't protect me. In fact, it's trying to kill me. You know? I ain't doing it no more. A lot of us are really stepping into that power right now. We ain't playing this shit. So let's go create, fam. Let's go create a reality of our wildest dreams. Let's bring heaven back to earth. This is what we're here for. Heaven is already here. We see that when we go into nature. We see it when we are relaxing on a piece of grass. You know, we see the beauty that's out there. We feel the healing energy. We feel the solitude. That's the home frequency of this planet. And it's been kind of drowned out by all these systems. Been pressed down and oppressed by these systems. And the miraculous thing, though, is even though these systems built by the colonizers have been oppressing this energy, it's still rising up and percolating. And it's taking more deeper root in us. And we are becoming like these tree root extensions of this power. And it's pretty exciting. I'm excited to see where things are going to go. Anyways, I'm going to blabble because I'm a Gemini moon and maybe sometimes I talk too much. I'm just really passionate about people just really coming back home to themselves, man. Not allowing like the traumas of this world and the traumas of their families, communities, past lives continue to hold them back from being all and everything they can be. So again, there's going to be a lot of people in this matrix that are probably not going to go through this deep, powerful transformation. But I believe that there's thousands, maybe perhaps millions of people that are on this spiritual path who are doing this right now. They're in this incredible portal of energy that goes beyond Lionsgate. Like, there's just, we're in this chrysalis. We're about to give birth and become something incredible. So for all you guys and gals out there that have been doing this work, I probably don't talk to all y'all a lot, but if you've been keeping it real with yourself and you've been really doing your shadow work, you know, even if it meant you walking alone in this world and being on your own path, man, you're my people. You're my people. My heart is with you. You are my people. It takes so much courage to walk through this life individually by yourself and stand alone and still speak your truth and still be who you are. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So those of you that have been doing that, man, you are my tribe. You are my people. Maybe people will find this video 10 years from now, like 5 years from now. I don't know. But if you are in my tribe and you're on that path, I know some days it gets hard. It does for me too. But as we slowly find each other in this world, we're gonna amplify each other's light, and we're gonna, man, like, screw Avengers, man, when it comes to heroes. Like, this world hasn't seen shit. Like, wait until this world sees what we actually become and what we actually achieve as a collective. They're gonna be like, what the hell? Why didn't we do this sooner? Why the hell did it take this long? And I'll be like, why did it take this long? Because I've been fucking waiting for a hot minute, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've been waiting since maybe age 5 for this shit to flip. For this script to flip, man. I've been waiting for a long time. So, yeah. Anywho. It's 10 minutes to midnight. So, I'm gonna get going. I hope that some of this stuff served at least one of you. If it's served at least one of you, then I've done my job. This game is far from over. We ain't done yet. So like I said, days might get hard up ahead. It might get challenging. You might feel exhausted. Take your time. Venus is in Virgo. Do your self-care. Pour into yourself. Invest in yourself. Strengthen yourself, your health, your spiritual abilities. Do what you gotta do to stay afloat. Do not let this bullshit, bogus, matrix paradigm reality snuff out your freaking light. Don't let it. You'll have to fight it. Use music. Use healthy conscious videos that are out there. Do what you gotta do. But do not let them siphon your light and your power and your optimism and your joy. Do not. And if you have a problem with that, DM me, man. I'll freaking set a fire underneath your ass quick and get your ass straightened out. That's what I'm here to do. I'm a motivational coach and I'm a shadow worker. This is what I'm here to do. So I wish you all lots of love, lots of light, lots of strength, lots of courage for the days, weeks, months, and years ahead. I will be doing other live streams probably in the future. I just do it on a whim. I just kind of do it randomly right now. I just do it when I feel called to do it. I ain't doing this shit for likes. I ain't doing this shit for follows. I ain't doing this shit to get famous. I'm just doing it because I feel that building greater community with like-minded, like-souled, like-willed tribe is of the utmost importance for me right now, aside from my own health and building my own life. So I will be back. I will be back. Have a great rest of your week and continue to cultivate your light. Peace.